Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to the channel of upright men and women. By now, all of you will have heard of that little monster, that malevolent little beast that was seen in a video clip handing about half a dozen solid bucks on a fellow student on the street earlier this week. Now, for those of you who have not heard of this incident, a male student in uniform, school uniform, was seen on the street, draped up a younger student. This student looked maybe about 15, but it's definitely shorter than him. And he pointedly measured up the student properly and raised his hand as high as put it from way round behind him back and swing and give the young man one solid box. Waited a few seconds then raised the hand again, line up the jar properly, and make sure say him aim good and clotoy. And he walked around with him, draped up same way, measured him up again, spent a few seconds, taking his time, carefully swing him hand behind him like he's some contortionist and bring it down with all his might, and the young picnic jar again, clotoy. And he continued doing that continuously about 5 or 6 times in the video. Now, I didn't see how it started because we didn't see when he walked up to the young man and draped him up. So it is quite possible that the youth did get some more serious boxes before the camera recording started taking place. Let me tell you guys, for you who have not seen the clip, it might be traumatic for you because when me tell you say the boy style. Alright, let me give you an idea. Let me give you an idea for those of you who have not seen it. The person who was filming the scene was on one side of the street. The violence was happening on the other side of the street and further up the road. Yet, from where the recording of the scene was being done, you could hear every box from that distance. There was a crowd of students on the street looking on. And every time the youth get one of them solid box, the crowd went, BBC! And I don't mean British Broadcasting Corporation. And another box come on and the crowd went, BBC! And them say it in a rhyme. Bridget, me nah make joke about this, but believe me, this is Jamaica. And let me tell you something. Seeing a man get a box, is not something where I go really fears anybody still. But when you see the whole street in a chorus, BBC! Then trust me, you know set this as some solid box. And we don't know. The film stopped running before we see how much more backs him get. So at the end of the day, we don't know how much backs him get before the video recording start with. And we don't know how much backs him get after the person stopped recording. So imagine yourself how that young man Jordan look afterwards. Anyway, a day after the video was released, or after I saw it, because I think I saw that video about Wednesday. And by Thursday, we hear say, the youth who do the boxing up, he had gone missing. Word on the ground was that the youth who was beaten up, his father was a Don, or at the very least, a gangster. And when news reached him say that the youth when box up's father is a gangster, you know, my man catch him coward and we hear say run go hide. Well, at the time, we didn't know him run go hide. We heard that he had gone missing. And everybody said, Lord, look like they done page him. And boy, him in a one shallow grave somewhere. And if that did happen, trust me, I would be like this.
Really happy. Thank you, Jesus! Really happy. Thank you, Jesus!
Because that is something that would have made me very happy. Yeah man, me not go round the corner. Him nothing bring back in a society. Him cannot be brought back in society. And that, or put it another way, that is not a chance we can take or this country should take. Any human being who can look at another human being and brutalize him in such a fashion, such calculated and measured and excruciating violence, that is coming from somewhere deep in this individual's soul. That's not something that's superficial that any kind of therapy can help. That is who he is. Might I even suggest that this individual might have killed already? Very likely he has killed before. Or should I say killed prior to this incident. And if he hadn't done so yet, he is going to do so sooner or later. Nothing that can commit this type of evil like this, such measured and calculated and deliberate act of violence on this scale, can be redeemed. And therefore, I was really waiting to hear that his body was found in a shallow grave, or better still, I was hearing that we never hear gunfire about him again, ever in history. So, for all you parents, good parents, who send your picnic out at school, I want you to look at the victim and say to yourself, that could have been your child. Now, the people who send out this monster to school, trust me, as far as I'm concerned, them know what them are send out to terrorize the country. Them know. Because nothing this evil can be an angel at home. Can be. I would like the entire nation to put out an all points bulletin for him, because he has been found. It was to my chagrin that yesterday I realized that them say he has been found. He had been hiding out because he was in fear after he found out that the young man in backs up was father who had a propensity for violence. So him take away himself. Now, if I was governing this country, this would be the last time on the face of Jamaica in its history that something like this could ever happen in any school anywhere in Jamaica. And I'm gonna tell you why. You see, in order to protect the weak, and when I say weak, I mean all the vulnerable, decent and vulnerable people in our society, one has to be strong. Weak people cannot protect weak people. You have to have strong people with a good heart to protect the weak from strong people with a bad heart. I said that to say this. I would use this malevolent creature as an example. Or I would advocate for anybody will catch him, to deal with him case permanently deal with him case. Or better still, leave him crippled, put him in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Make him carry a colostomy bag in his lap for the rest of his life. For those of you who don't know what a colostomy bag is, in Jamaica we just refer to it as a shite bag. It's attached to your intestines through a tube, and your pus and your feces is emptied and your bladder is emptied out into that bag, and that bag has to be changed regularly. That's a colostomy bag. And then you carry him around in a wheelchair to every high school, or you're going to make a video of him and say this hour going to happen to any uno who take people picnic and beat them up like uno are them parents. Not even like you are them parents, because parents not really, me don't know if no parents would have brutalized them picnic so. You brutalize him as if you are an warden in a Nazi death camp in Nazi Germany or in Auschwitz death camp back in the 1940s. Because anyhow the youth here is allowed to get away with this and live and healthy and can walk up and down, other people are going to try it, and the children in this country are not going to be safe. As I said before, decisive steps need to be taken with that piece of malevolent beast. I want anybody who knows his name, knows which school he goes to, knows his address, please get in touch with me. I am willing to broadcast everything I get about him so Jamaica can know where to find him. His case have to be dealt with, and Jamaican public, believe me when me telling you this. If this no murder already, it soon start to murder people. Samora Machel, let me quote him again. That former president of Mozambique said, "Kill the alligator from it in the egg." This alligator done mature already, can't change. We can save a lot of Jamaica's criminal problem by getting rid of this sitting here now. Do this country a favor, John Public. This sitting here is part of a disease and we need to find the cure. Some people gonna tell you, that all him need is some hugs and kisses. Of course, there are people out there who gonna tell you how much is because he needs love and he needs kisses and his lack of understanding. Send him home, make him and God go discuss that and sort that out. Make them sort that out between themselves. But an example have to be made of him. An example absolutely and totally have to be made of him. By the way, people, stick a pin. Dear, give me a second. You see, after him done backs up the youth, he walked off with his head held high and chest pushed out. And same time you see two fellow students go hug him up, one round him waist and one round him neck, and then move with him fast. Those two fellow students need to fine too, because this proves that he's part of a gang. A gang which was watching his every action and approved of every single blow that he put on during that act of violence. And when you find them, those two are supposed to be taken into hand, waggle them skin properly, warn them to stay out a gang, because apparently he is part of a gang, most likely the leader, and was demonstrating to his fellow gangsters what he is capable of. That is why them run go surround him and hug him up quick time. Just like how you just see a boxer in a ring, after him win the fight, his trainer and the other people in him entourage run go hug him up and carry him away after winning. Which proves my point, say people are look up to the little beast here and why he has to be dealt with. I am therefore appealing to the decent people in this country. Help me, help the public to find this creature, this malevolent beast, this animal, and set the entire decent nation of Jamaica, people who mean Jamaica well, who want to cure Jamaica of these things, to come on board, make we find him, and start the cure. The cure begins here. I appeal to you, Jamaica. Send me his details. We need to neutralize this thing. I need to neutralize it, especially before it starts breed and produce more like itself. Oh, Jesus King. There me go gone in me social Darwinism principles now. But there you go. This should not be allowed to carry anything more like itself. And this genetic code was in his parents. If his parents did sterilize, he wouldn't be here to get this trouble. So, you see, social Darwinism, firm principle, solid rationale behind eugenics. Anyway, guys, I await your responses. I await all the details about him. Send me the details. Let me publish it. Let's get this thing taken off the streets. Let's get this thing removed from society. And like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.